Are you limiting your future based on your past? Are you letting past assumptions about yourself make your decisions for you? That's what this episode is about. You're listening to Pure Light, where we explore how you can believe in yourself and be happy with who you are so that you feel worthy of your craziest dreams and confident in your power to make them happen. My name is Ailey. I'm a coach, writer, and Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. This is episode 82. So in the last episode, I talked about autopilot and assumptions about yourself. And in this episode, I want to talk about assumptions about yourself based on the past. And I'm going to share a story I've talked about before. In previous episodes, I've used it to talk about the upside of rejection and conversations in your head. And it's funny because when this event happened in my life, I felt like a total failure, and I was pretty adamant that I would never share this story with anyone. But if I think about, what fuels our growth, it really is our struggles and challenges. And clearly I had a lot to learn from this experience. So I'm going to talk about it again from a different perspective, the perspective of who you think you are. So when I started working as a management consultant, my dad said to me, "You can't do that forever." As in, it's not realistic or sustainable to do that for your entire career because it is a very demanding job. And I took that on as a challenge. I didn't actually say this, but I remember thinking, watch me. So I was determined to stay in that career basically forever to prove that I could do it. And this was very much an ego-driven thing. I defined myself by that career choice. I was like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And I was ready to defend that in any way possible. Like I was going to prove that that was true. So when challenges came up along the way or signs that maybe I should consider doing something else, I totally ignored them. So things like I had some digestive issues at one point, and I also ran into a couple of people on different projects who had anger management issues that were kind of well hidden from most people, but they surfaced through my interactions with them. And even through that, I was still like, I'm committed. I'm going to make it to the top. And all of that was because I was so committed to the idea I'm a management consultant. That was at the core of every decision I made, which I'm sure contributed to the fact that I was a workaholic, because that was how I defined myself. That was how I thought about myself. Like that was who I was. And then I was up for promotion to manager, and I didn't get it, even though everyone expected me to. And it was so painful that it made me question everything. And that questioning shattered the illusion I had that that was the thing that defined me. Because it opened my eyes to the possibility that maybe the idea I'm a management consultant wasn't the thing that I wanted to use to define myself. So it was a loss of who I thought I was in a way. And that loss opened up new possibilities because it made me realize I was free to make other choices. I didn't have to keep choosing to be there. And I also realized I had been doing that by default because of the assumption I had made that that was who I was and that defined me. And now in retrospect, I can see that I was always free to make other choices. And it was only my mind that made it seem like I wasn't because I was so committed to the thought I'm a management consultant. So when you base your decisions on ideas, thoughts, or assumptions from the past about who you are, you limit opportunities for the future because you're automatically preventing yourself from even considering possibilities that don't align with the ideas you have about yourself. You're rejecting all those possibilities. When you hold on to those ideas and defend them through your actions and decisions, you keep yourself stuck in a way because you're acting based on past ideas and assumptions about yourself instead of whatever's here and now. You're identifying with those thoughts and using them to define you and dictate your actions. So it's like your preconceived idea of who you are is more important than what you're experiencing in the moment. And that's what allows you to kind of discount signs that maybe this is not the right thing for you. There's a quote from Eckhart Tolle, "The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death." And what that means is that what makes you come alive is to stop identifying with what you think of yourself. So stop identifying with thoughts like, I am this, or I am that, or I am not this, or I am not that. So thoughts like, I'm a management consultant. Because when I had that thought and when I held that in my mind in a way that I identified with it, there was no possibility of me making a different career choice because I was so committed to that idea. So when you catch yourself having thoughts about who you are, notice those ideas in your head. Remind yourself that they're just ideas, they're just thoughts. They don't have to define you unless you choose to let them. You can let go of those mental constructs because they're basically just illusions in a way that keep you operating based on assumptions you've made or ideas you've had about yourself in the past. There's also a line in a Sing Car song that I wanted to share. The one who dies to this life while yet alive has achieved liberation. When you let go of your ideas about who you are, when you let those ideas die, or when you choose to kill them, you stop limiting yourself. When you're not operating based on assumptions from the past, you're free to be who you are in this moment. You're free to make new decisions, to consider new possibilities, to trust what you're experiencing right now, and use that to inform your path forward, instead of letting the ideas in your head about who you are overrule your heart. If you want even more perspective to help you see yourself in a new light, sign up to get self-love strategies in your inbox every Sunday. You can do that at purelightpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, may you be guided by your light.